Hey friends, it's me. I'm popping on with another video for you guys. So today it's going to be short and sweet, and we're not going to move physically on our mats. We're kind of going to talk philosophy and a different aspect of yoga. So first lesson in yoga is to understand that yoga is not purely physical movement. It's not just coming to our mats and sweating and holding some crazy poses and doing all this business. I mean, it's a big part of it. And we tend to focus more on that in Western culture, which is awesome. It's good to move and sweat and breathe, but that's not all it is. So picture yoga as an umbrella term for yoga. And there are 8 different parts that come together to compose yoga. We call these the 8 limbs of yoga, the Eightfold Path. The first 2 are disciplines about how you view yourself and the world around you. We'll get into those in a different video. I do intend to have more philosophy on here for those of you that are interested, but for now we're gonna skip on over to the 3rd term, which is asana, our physical practice, which is why we have terms like Tadasana, Uttanasana, Utkatasana, Adho Mukha Svanasana, Shavasana. Asana just means pose. So our asanas are our discipline for our body to move and connect breath to movement, to turn off the mind and turn on the awareness of the physical aspect. So asana is our 3rd term. The 4th is coming to pranayama or pranayam, depending on what lineage, what school you went to, different ways to say these things. But pranayam is our practice of our breath. It's our breath control. So when you come to pranayam, prana, the first part of that, means life force energy or our breath. If you can't understand these terms, think of it more in a Western, our society's way of thinking. It's just our breath. So in order to be alive, we have to breathe. We have to keep breathing in air to keep everything working and moving. Coming back to the yogic side, in Sanskrit, which is our ancient language of yoga, pranayam is our energy, our life force, and within that we are said to have 2 different channels in our body. We have Ida on the left, Pingala on the right. Imagine that Ida is more of feminine energy, it's more of our introverted self, it's more of the calm side of everything. Pingala is a rowdy male energy, it's our wanting to be active, it's our turning on the switch and getting on with our day. It's said to be connected to the right and the left side hemisphere of the brain. So again, you can think of this in Western terms of thinking about the sides of the brain and how we have our different energy on either side, right? So when we breathe in prana, when we are breathing, we are moving that energy down, bringing in fresh energy and circling up, cycling up everything that's old and stagnant and letting that loose. So imagine that we have these locks in our bodies, these little channels, these knobs to turn. These are our chakras. Again, I'll get into in a different video. But imagine they're lined up here on the spine. So different nodules on the spine if you're thinking in Western terms, right? So when we breathe in energy, it's coming down and twisting that lock. It's hitting it. It's moving that stagnant energy. And then when you exhale, it comes back out from the bottom, pushes everything up, and you exhale it out. So think about our blood, our lymph. We have air that we have to breathe in, obviously, to keep everything flowing and moving and groovy and all good. Cool. So when we practice our prana, we are turning those locks, moving everything out to keep everything from becoming stagnant and gross. Cool. So when we practice prana, our importance of that is coming to a discipline of being able to shut off the body and the mind and focus on just the breath, but being present with our higher self, being able to completely meditate and focus on only this. Cool. So today I'm going to show you guys an awesome breathing technique called Nadi Shodhana, or alternate nostril breath. So Nadi Shodhana is essentially we are breathing in one side, we're focusing on Ida or Pingala, depending on which nostril you're breathing in, and focusing on only breathing in that energy, focusing on clearing out that channel. So essentially what this looks like is we're going to take I'll do this hand so I'm mirroring you guys. It'll be our right hand. You're going to allow your left hand to stay planted to your lap, just whatever feels good here. You're gonna make a hang loose sign. So your pointer, middle, and index finger all come in right here, right? So we've got our pinky and our thumb out, hanging loose. Cool. Try and keep the forearm soft here. Don't squeeze in, don't feel your bicep. We don't want any tension in the neck. Just keep it loosey-goosey. So you might just wiggle the wrist out a little bit here. Practice keeping a nice, we want the hand sign, but we don't want it to be super active. Just let it be loose and passive and hanging out here. Cool. So bring your right thumb to your right nostril, and you're going to close it off. You're closing off that pinglet, leaving Ida open to bring in air and energy. I'm going to sound weird when I demo this, but you know what? We're going to move with it. It's going to be cool. We're learning. So right nostril is closed off. You're going to take a big breath in. Hold at the top. Switch. So now right nostril's open, left is plugged. Exhale out. Inhale back in through that same side. Hold at the top, swap it over. Inhale. Exhale. So you're going to take as many rounds of this as feels good. Just imagine creating a soft face here, not any crazy faces. I mean, you can make it if it feels good, but try and keep everything soft here, just focusing on swapping back and forth between breathing. This is a great breath coming back into more practical Western terminology. Think about if you have a stuffy nose, this is killer to balance out your nostrils so you can breathe easier through both sides instead of being stuffy to one side. That energy is clogged. Swapping back over here. That energy is clogged here. We want to balance out Ida and Pingala. Get those nadis, these locks, completely aligned and cleared. Nadi Shodhana. That's all it is. We're turning these nadis, keeping that energy flowing. It is great to lower blood pressure, to move lymph, to again clear out both nasal cavities so you can breathe properly. Perfect for allergies right now in the spring. It is helpful right now to deal with stress, to calm the nervous system, to stay balanced and grounded and rooted. So I'll go through it again with you guys one more time just so you can see it. Remember, it's not inhale, exhale through one side, switch, because all that's doing is keeping that energy moving through one side, right? So we're breathing on one side in and exhaling out through the other. That way we're keeping that energy moving and keeping everything balanced. Cool. I think I've explained this enough, so let's practice it one more time together. So right hand, hang loose, everything's soft here. Right thumb, right nostril. Together, big breath in. Swap. Inhale. Hold and switch. Let's take about 5 rounds here together. We'll end up exhaling through the right side once you finish. So 5 rounds with your own breath at your own pace. Awesome job. When you finish your 5 rounds, come back. Just let your right hand find your knee again. Take a moment here in stillness, with your eyes either softened or closed. Turning inwards, notice all this new energy bouncing around, moving. You might even feel like a slight physical sensation. So just being aware, taking note of what all is happening within your body after that pranayama practice. Beautiful job. Gently blink your eyes open. Come back to the space. Hey. So you can practice that as many rounds as you'd like. There's no limit. Keep it going, however feels good. Hopefully that was awesome and you guys feel balanced. I don't know if you could tell, my breathing was probably super loud, but I actually do feel like I cleared out all the allergy business that was happening. I feel much more balanced. So there is something to this, you guys, as crazy and as outlandish as it might sound at first. It's real. It is very accurate, and it can benefit everybody. Yoga is not specifically for a certain group of people that believe certain things or practice certain things. It can be achieved and it can be practiced no matter who you are, what your background is, what you believe in. It is something that you can take from this Eastern Sanskrit yogic terminology and bring it into something maybe that you find a little more accessible to understand in Western terminology. So I hope you all enjoyed that. If there are any questions about this breathing exercise, don't hesitate to ask. I think I'm going to start doing more philosophy and more exploring other limbs of yoga, just kind of touching base and having more educational videos as well as the physical practice. So yeah, thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope that this keeps you grounded and sane, and you can come to this to have your own minute to pause and slow down and meditate. I'll see you guys in the next video. Namaste.